hour. And here comes our star-studded show train. Tonight, the Association of American Railroads presents a distinguished musical hit by Rodgers and Hart, Dearest Enemy, starring Gordon MacRae and his guest, lovely Nadine Connor. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. Yes, tonight another great musical success is brought to you by the American Railroads. The same railroads that bring you most of the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the fuel you burn, and all the other things you use in your daily life. And now here is our star, Gordon MacRae.
Thank you, Marvin Miller. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, sir, I'll bet you've never thought of New York City as a battlefield, unless you happen to be fighting your way onto the subway during a rush hour. But tonight we're going to tell you in music about the days when the bullets were really whizzing up and down good old Manhattan Island. It's Rodgers and Hart music, by the way, with the Metropolitan Opera's lovely Nadine Connor singing the role of Betsy, while I put on the crimson coat and white bandolier of Sir John Copeland, captain in the colonial army of His Royal Majesty King George III. And so, curtain going up on Dearest Enemy.
Yankee Doodle came to London riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step and with the girls be handy.
In 1776, it was treason to be a Yankee Doodle. And our regiments of British redcoats were getting ready to teach George Washington a lesson and make the Yankees pay the taxes on their tea. We had a plan, a very clever plan. And the rebels in New York City were mighty worried by the British gunboats anchored in the Hudson River.
Bessie, I'm afraid. We should have gone to Philadelphia with Uncle Joseph. Run off from the redcoats like a flock of scared geese? But that's no way to win a war. But we aren't women. We aren't soldiers, Betsy. We're women. Well, women can fight if they have to. Why, if the British land here in New York, should we leave our house for them? Let them move into Murray Hill, bag and baggage without a fight? Not on your life. Listen, the gunboats in the river. The British are making a landing. Oh, dear. We'll fix them. Oh, what can we do, Betsy? Two helpless women against the whole British Army? Jane, you take Uncle Joe's fastest horse and ride up to General Washington's headquarters. Yes? You tell him that the redcoats are landing in Manhattan. Now, hurry. But what will you do, Betsy? I'm going to sit here on the front porch with Grandpa's musket. And the first redcoat that sets foot on our geraniums, I'm going to shoot him dead. Well, get your musket polished. Here they come.
Cheerio, little mother of mine. Don't be weary over the sea and the homeland. Anything I am happy to do for the king, for the country and you. Cheerio, I will hold you again with your weary old little head on my shoulder. Soon the wind will blow homeward, ho, so cheerio, cheerio.
Cheerio, little mother of mine. Don't be weary over the sea and the homeland. Anything I'm happy to do for the king, for the country and you.
Cheerio, I will hold you again with your weary old little head on my shoulder. Soon the wind will blow homeward, ho, so cheerio, cheerio.
My dear lady, would you mind putting down that gun? It isn't hospitable.
Well, you'll get no hospitality here. And if you come closer than that geranium bed, I'll pull the trigger.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, I would. Look out. Oh, it didn't go off.
Of course not. There's more to firing a musket than closing your eyes and squeezing the trigger. You didn't pull back the flintlock.
Oh, I didn't put a bullet in it either. Oh, I just hate that noise.
Well, you're a fine little rebel. I guess you realize your war's about over now that we've taken New York.
Well, maybe you've taken New York, but you won't capture Murray Hill.
Is that what you call this house?
That's right. And any redcoat that comes uninvited will have to answer to Betsy Murray.
You know I like that name. Betsy. May I introduce myself? I am Sir John Copeland.
You are an enemy of my country.
And you are an enemy of mine. But haven't you heard what the good book says? Love thine enemies.
Well, I don't love you, and I never will.
I wouldn't be too sure about that, dearest enemy.
By and by, not now, but by and by, somehow we'll try and buy a little nest. Scheme a while, when lonely dream a while, will only seem a while, and love will do the rest. Our happy days will come, though slight delays will come. The bright sun's rays will come from out the sky. Every cloud just flies on. Love is on the far horizon. You'll be my sweetheart by and by. Sun's rays will come from out the sky. Every cloud just flies on. Love is on the far horizon. You'll be my sweetheart by and by.
How about it, Betsy Murray? Will you do a friendly enemy a favor? My commander needs your mansion for his headquarters.
Never. Go tell your general that redcoats are not welcome at Murray Hill.
Well, as you wish, Miss Betsy. We'll find other quarters. But never let it be said that a British officer forced his presence on a beautiful lady.
Betsy, Jane, did you see General Washington? Yes. And he says you must keep the British here as long as you can. What? Open up our house to them. Beg them to stay with us. Oh, no. Anything to keep them from attacking until our troops are ready for battle. General Washington says it's frightfully important. Oh, Jane, I just sent them away. You didn't. Well, I'll simply have to get them to come back. Oh, Captain! Sir John.
Yes, Miss Murray.
I've got to talk with you.
Well, what do you want?
You wanted to use Murray Hill for your headquarters?
Made it quite clear that we're not... Well,
But you want to know the funniest thing? I've changed my mind. I know a merry place far from intrusion. It's just the very place for your seclusion. There you can while away days as you smile away. It's not a mile away, but it's new to you. Here in my
What brought on this sudden change of heart, Miss Betsy?
You did, Sir John. You were so gracious and gentle. How could we be so rude to you? We want you to stay at Murray Hill as long as it pleases you.
Thank you, Miss Betsy. You are most kind. General Howe, Captain Copeland reporting, sir.
At your ease, Sir John.
Thank you, sir. I've arranged to establish our headquarters at the mansion on Murray Hill.
What? Intelligence advises me the Murrays are fanatic rebels.
They were, General. But, well, Miss Betsy was unable to resist me.
Oh. Sir John, I think you are improperly vain about your persuasions with women. One kiss doesn't turn a rebel into a Tory.
That, sir, depends upon the kiss.
Impudent puppy. Our sentinels suspect the Murrays obtained a message from General Washington. That is what melted her resistance, not your kiss.
You think so?
Don't be disheartened, my young Casanova. We shall make our quarters at Murray Hill to learn what Washington is up to. But your Betsy, I promise, is a rebel to the core.
I thought she loved me, but I guess she was only pretending.
Here in my arms, it's adorable, it's deplorable that you were never there. When little lips are so kissable, it's permissible for me to ask my share.
We moved our British headquarters into the mansion at Murray Hill. And although I knew that the bewitching Miss Betsy was only trifling with my affections, I couldn't stop myself from falling in love with her. Whether she really cared for me, it was impossible to tell. For I knew that her smiles and kind words were merely to advance the cause of independence.
Good evening, handsome Sir John.
I'm surprised, Miss Betsy, that you can see anything handsome in a British uniform. I thought you would prefer a ragged Continental.
Oh, how peevish of you, Sir John. I may only dance with you once at the party tonight.
You won't dance with me at all, my dear.
No?
We're marching against your General Washington. A surprise attack at midnight.
Oh, well, how unfortunate. Oh, excuse me. I must tell my sister so she can stop the plans for the party. Oh, Jane.
What is it, Betsy?
Oh, Sir John just told me. The Redcoats are attacking tonight.
Oh, then we've got to warn General Washington.
What's the signal?
A lantern in the north window of our garret. The general said to let it shine for the count of 10 and then put it out sharply. That'll tell him that the British are leaving Murray Hill.
Jane, you light the lantern. I'll stay with Sir John and make sure he doesn't interfere.
Oh, Betsy, this is so exciting.
Sir John,
Yes?
we're sorry you must leave us.
Your sweetness is wasted on me, Mistress Betsy. I know it's all been for show to delay us here.
I admit, it was at first. But now I'm honestly sorry to see you go. Don't you believe me?
No. But I like the candlelight in your eyes when you say it.
Then perhaps you'll believe this.
Here's a kiss, I'll give you this, a keepsake of my love. With a fond view, I'll pledge my love on you.
Ever, dear, this souvenir will help me to remember.
Is my heart to hold when we part? Is my love
It's only been hail and farewell, brief our meeting, moment fleeting, but memories of love will wear well.
when you start your sad departure?
In our heart, our regrets will bear well. Oh, here's a kiss, I'll give you this as keepsake of my love.
With a fond adieu, I'll pledge my love on you.
Ever dear, this souvenir will help me to remember. Here's my heart, oh, when we part. Here's my love. Look, that light against the trees.
Must be the moon.
It's a lantern in the garret window.
No.
It's a signal.
Oh, please, Sir John.
That's how we put out any signals to your rebel generals.
No, you sent the signal.
I sent it.
10 seconds of lantern light from our north window, and then darkness. That's what we agreed upon to tell General Washington your troops were advancing. Your bullet, Sir John, was perfectly timed.
All that charming song of farewell. That was just to keep me from seeing the lantern.
No, I am sorry to have you leave.
Save your lies, you little turncoat. I've got a battle to fight and a war to win. Dearest enemy.
Sir John, will I see you again? John! John!
Have you heard the news, Betsy?
About General Washington's great victory? Yes. Oh, I'm glad the war is over.
Perhaps he'll be coming back to Murray Hill, Betsy.
John? Oh, no. Oh, there have been too many bitter battles and bitter memories between. And yet, this is the by and by he told me about. Remember? By and by, not now, but by and by, somehow, we'll try and buy a little nest. Scheme a while, when lonely dream a while, twill only seem a while, and love will do the rest. Our happy days will come, those slight delays will come, the bright sun's rays will come, roll out the You'll be my sweetheart by and
Betsy, there's an officer on horseback stopping at our door.
Oh, is it?
It's General Washington.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't see him in this old dress. Oh, how does my hair look? Oh, dear.
Miss Betsy Murray,
I am deeply honored, General.
please don't bow. It is I who should bend my knee to you. I can tarry here but a moment to pay an old debt of gratitude. For without your brave signal lantern, I could not have known of Howe's surprise attack, and this happy day of victory might never have come.
Oh, you do me too great an honor, General Washington.
It seems your heart is heavy when it should swell with pride. Why, Miss Betsy?
Oh, tell me, General, Is it treason to love an enemy?
Our enemies of yesterday have become our friends of today.
By chance, Sir General, do you know of a British officer named Sir John Copeland?
I knew of a knighted British captain of that name.
He wasn't killed?
No, little patriot. There are surprises generals like to present other than medals. Listen.
In my arms, it's adorable.
Sir John!
It's deplorable that you were never there.
Sir John.
The war is over, Betsy. But I have one more command. 2 arms, dearest enemy. 2 arms. Fall in.
My heart is ever so lonely. I'm holding on the air. While here in my arms, it's adorable. It's deplorable that you were
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Nadine Connor will be back in just a moment. Our thanks to Katie Lee, John McIntyre, Marvin Miller, and our entire company. Dearest Enemy, with music by Richard Rogers and book and lyrics by Herbert Fields and Lorenz Hart, was dramatized for the Railroad Hour by Lawrence and Lee. The Railroad Hour is brought to you each week at this time by the American Railroads. The American Railroads have the biggest and most powerful fleet of locomotives in the world. And new units of motive power are being added to this fleet continuously. Since the end of World War II, more than 11,000 new units of motive power have been put into service. More than 3,000 units were installed last year alone. These modern, efficient, and powerful locomotives, with their greater pulling power and greater efficiency, are important in increasing the railroad's transportation output. And yet, they are only a part of the billion-dollar-a-year railroad program of improving and enlarging every part of their plant to better serve the growing transportation demands of commerce and rearmament. And now here is our lovely guest, Nadine Connor.
Oh, wasn't it fun, Gordon? Reliving the American Revolution in music?
Yes, Nadine, and I didn't even mind surrendering to you. And now that the story's over, you can lay that flintlock down. Let me see. You can lay that flintlock down, gal.
Partner, who's gunning for you next week, Gordon?
Well, I'll tell you. The Metropolitan's Miss Dorothy Kirsten, Nadine. And we'll be singing Sigmund Romberg's glorious music from the operetta, New Moon.
Oh, wonderful. I shall hang a signal lantern in the window, Gordon, telling all my friends to listen.
Well, if I can pronounce that word, I'll pop it out. Thanks, Nadine. Good night.
Good night, Gordon.
All aboard? Well, sir, it looks as though we're ready to pull out. And so, until next week, goodbye.
Dearest Enemy was presented by special arrangement with Tams Whitmark Music Library. Gordon MacRae can be seen starring in the Warner Brothers production, The West Point Story. Our choir is under the direction of Norman Luboff, and our music is prepared and conducted by Carmen Dragon. This is Marvin Miller saying goodbye until next week for the American Railroad. And now keep tuned to your Monday night of music on NBC.